Hi, my name is Peg Bednarski. I'm with Historic Inns of Annapolis, and I'm here to take you on a little history tour today. And we'll start with the Maryland Inn, which was our first hotel. It actually has been a hotel well over 200 years, 1772 we go back to, and we're still standing, still do the same job that we did over 200 years ago.
Okay, now let me catch you there.
In 1712, a man named Philemon Lloyd of a prominent Eastern Shore family had surveyed a lot for the drummer being an equivalent to the town crier and new to the state of Maryland. Actually, the drummer's job was to call the session to order and also to call the town crier the news throughout the day. That piece of land is still there. Our lounge, the drummer's lot, is on that piece of land. But it is definitely, it will always be the drummer's lot, because that was exactly where the drummer stood to call everything to order. If the session was late, they were fined 100 pounds of tobacco because they were late. It went on, actually, in 1772, a man named Thomas Hyde had the Maryland Inn, the front part of the Maryland Inn built. 1772, Thomas Hyde took a long-term lease on the piece of land that he built the Maryland Inn. The front part of the Maryland Inn had 3 floors and 20 fireplaces, and that is still part of the Maryland Inn. It was 100 years later that we lifted the floor and went up one more floor and put on the Victorian porches. That stands now. Actually, much later in 1868, the Maryland Hotel Association, and if you look over the door of the Maryland Inn, you will still see etched in the glass, Maryland Hotel. That is where the Spanish soldiers in 1868 were housed, the prisoners of war were housed in the basement of the Maryland Inn until the freedom came. We actually also have had it's known over these 200 and several years, it's known to be a place where legislators meet. George Washington frequented the Maryland Inn on his way from Philadelphia to Virginia, often ate there, took his leisure there, and stayed quite a bit in the Maryland Inn through those days of the Revolutionary period. He didn't stay in the Maryland Inn, he stayed at Mann's Tavern down the street, but all of his leisure time was spent at the Maryland Inn in what was called then the Ordinary Room. In 1972, we changed the name of the Ordnance Room, which was a revolutionary term. We changed it to the Treaty of Paris, and that was because the Treaty of Paris was ratified in our State House across the street. And because of our continued work with government and legislature, we wanted to be part of that. So with the Treaty of Paris goes way back and is you can see the ratification in the State House and the connection between the two.
Hi, this is Mike. Top of the morning to you. Welcome to the Governor Calvert House.
Now we move actually over where the Maryland Inn was owned by Paul Pearson, who was very active with the Historic Trust and the Historic Foundation of Annapolis. He and Sinclair Wright had a vision of restoring these old properties. And so we restored first Robert Johnson and then the Governor Calvert. Governor Calvert House was built with the old Governor Calvert, built this for his wife. And actually the front part of the house is restored to historic queen bedrooms, hardwood floors, etc. The back of the house came out of the ground, and actually it's a great match architecturally. We have a lot of history in this house. We have a hypercaust, which is an old Roman heating system. The governor loved citrus trees. Therefore, this type of heating system would give off and act like a greenhouse. Therefore, he was and we have restored that room with a glass floor, and people continually come to see that. It is certainly a matter of history that also goes back to the 1700s.
Okay.
Actually, the Maryland Inn is still our main house as far as our restaurant, the Treaty of Paris, and our Drummer's Lot Bar. We have a wonderful menu in our Treaty of Paris. We have a young man who does popovers that are out of this world and just something you would really want to experience. Not only does the Treaty have an excellent menu, it's renowned for its popovers. Popovers are a little intricate in baking. They take over an hour or about an hour to actually bake to the manner that we like them. But people come just to experience the popovers along with their dinner. It's magnificent just to see the crowd that comes in looking and are very disappointed if the popovers are not there for some reason because they've run out. They are an intricate tool to our restaurant. Recently, we had our wonderful Easter brunch, which was so wonderfully successful. And we're very happy. If you like to check with us to find out the special occasions that those Sunday brunches are occurring, please do call us. We'll be happy to direct you to the right date and make sure that you have an enjoyable experience. I'd like to explain the accommodations in the Maryland Inn. We have 5 lovely suites. One named for the man who built the Maryland Inn is called the Thomas Hyde Suite. It is just off of a porch, a magnificent suite. We have 4 others very like it in different parts of the building. We have kings, queens with 4-poster. We have rooms with 2 double beds and also with 1 double bed. They're furnished with antiques and reproductions, and they are just delightful. We love the Maryland Inn. It has its wonderful old historic value. You did ask me about the chandeliers, and I did want to explain. They aren't the original. Unfortunately, we had to change those about 3 or 4 years ago when we did our restoration. But these are exquisite. They were ordered especially for the Duke of Gloucester room. The Duke of Gloucester, it was the old ballroom. If you can imagine, ballrooms in George Washington's time were not the size of ballrooms that we experience today. It was exactly kind of that size of a ballroom where George Washington danced when there was some kind of a...
Did George Washington actually dance in that room?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
In that room? Oh, sure.
Lou, you got that.
That's what I mean. He spent a lot of... He didn't stay there, but he came there. The minute he checked in, he'd walk up. And when they did the George Washington walk, they came from Man's Tavern and right by the Treaty of Paris on the way to the State House.
Somebody there like 9:30 the one night, Saturday night, they were doing the tour.
Right.
George Washington actually danced in that room.
Oh, yeah, because his leisure time was spent. Yeah, and in that room by candlelight at night, to me, that room has all the ambiance.
I want to see that sometime.
Oh, it is just, when there's going to be a party or a small wedding there, I will call you. In this economy, it's very difficult to go on a long vacation. But you can experience Annapolis at special prices and special days also. Again, if you'll just call me, I'll work with you and bring you in. We want you to be able to experience this wonderful historic area. The difference between Annapolis and Williamsburg is that we restored our properties. Williamsburg had to build them. That is an amazing difference historically in Annapolis and Williamsburg. Come and see us. We would love to show you what we've done, get you a tour of the old homes. We will bring you in and send you out very happily. If you'll come, you can come and have a function in the room where George Washington danced. You can eat in the restaurant where he dined, where all of our senators and legislators have dined over 200 years ago. You can experience where these Spanish soldiers were held as prisoners of war. In that room, you can sit and have a cup of coffee and a little pastry and enjoy just exactly where not only were the prisoners, but we also had a jazz tavern there during the 70s, where you will experience on the walls the pictures of these great, wonderful musicians. Come and see us. We have it all.
People don't realize that a couple of days, you just have to stay, like, we came in Saturday afternoon,
Right.
stayed Saturday night and Sunday night, and then we stay all day Monday in the
Right.
city doing things. You can walk around a hotel and have enough to do,
Oh, my Lord.
to look at everything and absorb it.
By the day and then by the evening, because by candlelight and by chandelier light, it's beautiful. As you come in the front door of our Governor Calvert, you'll wander down past this lovely glass-floored Roman heating system that you will enjoy. Just a little past that, you're going to see an artifacts case. A year into the beginning of the restoration of the Governor Calvert, actually you will come past a case that has a delightful selection of artifacts that were found by the University of Maryland in the year's dig during our restoration here. All of these belonged to the Calvert family. There are dishes, there are jewelry, there is all kinds of things that were taken out of, found in, some in the hypercost, others along the dirt in the building. Those are in a case that you may look at and enjoy as you come through. You will then walk into the atrium, which is often used by receptions, weddings, etc., that opens then to an outside terrace, which goes to the length of the back of the house. It's a beautiful property. You have a gorgeous ballroom. We have everything here for a large wedding, for a large dinner, or for a small meeting. We have other meeting rooms. We have a wonderful banquet chef who does all of this work in this house, and it is used for many, many wonderful affairs here in the state of Maryland, again by legislators and lobbyists, etc. And now we're into the Robert Johnson House. I love the Robert Johnson House. It was the first one we restored and opened in 1983. It's a small, very private house. The key to your room opens the front door. It has a lovely appointed small lobby where you get your coffee in Danish. You can go on. It has actually 29 rooms. 2 of them are suites. One is a townhouse suite, living room downstairs, lovely massive bedroom of a governor's mansion and the State House. It's just delightful. That is the Peg Bednarski suite. It is also, there's another one on the 4th floor that is delightful. But what I like so much about the Johnson is if you're looking for quiet, private, that is the house you would enjoy. We would love to have you. Again, my name is Peg. I have been with the hotel for 40 years. It was owned by Paul Pearson then. It was bought by Remington Hotel Group in 1994. It's been a wonderful transition for me. From the private owner of Paul Pearson to the corporate owners of Remington Hotel Group. They've done such a marvelous job in restoring all 3 properties in the last 3 years. They are a treat. There's something all the time that would take your interest. You come once, you can come again, and actually you can come to the inns more than one time. You can have a different experience every time you come by doing a different house, a different type room, a suite one time, a room in the Johnson House another. It's a marvelous walk through history. We would love to have you here. During the legislative session, our legislature meets for 90 days every year, and that's from the second Wednesday in January to about the 14th of April each year. We have at that time 45 to 50 full-time legislators who live with us during that 90-day period. We also have many part-timers who go from 2 days to 4 days during the week and return the next week. So it is a very busy time for us, but it's also a very interesting time for guests to come and actually see the Senate and the House in action. That, again, is a walk through history, Maryland's wonderful history. And that also can be a great time for you to spend on a winter time when prices are lower than they are at other times. And then in April, we pick up the season, and actually our rooms get busier. However, if you call us early enough, you have the opportunity to make that appointment and make that reservation, and you'll be ahead of the game, and we can really serve you in the manner in which you'd like to. Actually, we cut down a little. You would say our business probably starts waning. The only period that we have a slow period is November, probably 15th, until that second Wednesday in January. That can be slow. We do pick up weekends during December because our Christmas lights are just absolutely fantastic all over the city, and people come just to see the Christmas lights in the shops and do their Christmas shopping at the same time. So but they're excellent times for you to get special rates also.
We're coming for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner that we serve, and you will thoroughly enjoy, and that's a great time to come. You did ask about the ghost tour. about ghosts, and I have never really experienced ghosts in my tour. But I do know that the ghost tour, there are people who run the ghost tour, and they start just before Halloween. You might want to come down at that time if you're interested. I can get you the information for that tour. They build that tour every year. There are more and more people who really love to take that ghost tour. And I think that maybe you would enjoy it if you're interested in the ghost tours. And they then can explain any experiences that they have known about the inn. I hope you've enjoyed your tour here at Historic Inns today. If you'd like to book a party, if you would like to book a reservation for the weekend, if you'd like to make a reservation for the treaty, please call me. If you would like a personal tour, I'll be happy to give that to you. Call, my name is again Peg Bednarski, Historic Inns of Annapolis, 410-263-2641. We'd be more than happy to have you under any circumstance and for any reason. Just give me a personal call. Bye-bye, and thank you for tuning in. Till the next time, I'm Peg.